we're going to ask more about damaged hair due to excessive styling and its treatment. We're going to have dermatovenerologist and DC Beauty Clinic co-founder, Dr. Kardiana Dewi, who, by the way, had a very beautiful hair too. Hi, Doctor. Dr. Dewi, thank you so much for being here with us.
Hello.
So we're going to ask you, Dr. Dewi, in which regard to what Rory has mentioned before about the hair transplant phenomenon right now within the Indonesian men. But before that, we're going to ask you the basic, most, I think, very core question about hair damages. Is this because of hairstyling? Is it because of lifestyle? Is it because of lack of sleep, lack of vitamins? What causes hair damage?
Or genetic.
Or genetic, yes. Thank you, Rory.
All right. So first, of course, Happy New Year to all of you.
Happy
Yes,
New
Happy New
Year.
Year, Dr. Dewi.
And hopefully everything's going better this year. So of course, if we're talking about hair maintenance, the main cause of the hair breakage or damage is like first, of course, too much styling.
Okay.
The blow drying,
Right.
the curling iron, the
Right.
hair cleanse, and also too much products. We put like the hair smoothing, the hair firming, coloring, and everything, right? And the most simple thing is like overwashing, overbrushing, and when improper towel drying, whatever you do, the hair washing, then you put it like you shake it all over the way, and then the heat damage make it too dry. So, and of course, lack of vitamins and nutrition, and
Yeah.
also stress, all can increase the hair damage, but not genetic factors. Like this is we said, like the hair breakage or damage mostly is because of the external factors.
Okay.
The internal factors is mostly because you lack of vitamins and nutrients. Sometimes you said that, oh, you don't do too much diet because it can make you lose your hair. If that's true, that part of that is true because like whenever you do heavy diet, then you suddenly your body lost all the protein, the vitamins that you need for your healthy hair. So it of course make it breakage as well.
Oh, there you
Right.
go.
Okay, so what are the most common hair problems, Doc? Can you please elaborate more? We mentioned about, split end. We mentioned about this being dry, hair loss. What else?
Yes. Of course, the most common thing that is very, very disturbing is dandruff, right?
Yes.
Some of us, because we live in a tropical country, and then with the high humidity level, and then we also, of course, for many of us using like the hijab and also use the cap and helmet all the way. So it makes the environment very, very easy for fungus to grow. So if we talk about dandruff, there's fungus there. So that's why some people said, oh, it's because you're dirty, and it's like, oh, it's something, it's the one that caused by your hygiene. There are some part true, but not all. If we talk about dandruff, there is the one that is mild, such as like when you wash your hair, you don't really wash it too clean. First, maybe sometimes it's very simple. You don't wait until your hair and scalp all wet, and then when you put the shampoo, you don't make sure that everything is already clean up. That can make the dandruff, but the small one. But then, whenever you wash it dry and then you make it even more clean, it will become clean and no more dandruff. But there are some serious dandruff that we need to put medicine on. That's the one that you have to go to the dermatologist because they already have dandruff and bacteria, and you need more medicine to make it gone. And that type of dandruff, or we call it seborrheic dermatitis, which is a lot happening in Indonesian people, not only on the scalp but also on this area, in the inner side of the eyebrows, and then side of the nose, and then also here. Sometimes even people doesn't notice that they have the eczema. It's type of eczema. They thought that, oh, my skin is sensitive.
Right.
They thought that this type, the redness here, is because of the skin is sensitive, but they don't think that it's related with the hair as well.
Oh.
So mostly, if your skin type is oily, the oil glands is not only much on the face, but also on the scalp.
Right.
So it all comes together. So it makes the seborrheic dermatitis, not only on the face, but sometimes also on the ears. So now, because we're talking of the hair, so that type of hair problem that you need to go to the doctor and you need to make it gone as soon as you can, because if you don't do it, then it's gonna be even worse, and it's gonna be hard for you to get rid of the eczema.
Yeah.
That's the most common disease of hair that people come to dermatologists.
Yes.
the dandruff or seborrheic dermatitis. And then second thing, of course, the hair loss. Like most of the patients doesn't like if they have the hair loss. They said, Doc, I guess my hair is going, I saw it more thinner. Like I have a lot of hair loss. The hair loss is so much. When I wake up in the morning and then when I wash my hair, blah, blah, blah. And then people thought that every time you have your hair loss for a few, like let's say quite a lot like this, they had like sometimes they said like, if I get it for my on my hand, I think I can get it for all the palm here. But actually, having a hair loss is quite normal. So every day, on daily basis, we have a hair loss. So when will we say that we have excessive hair loss? It's normally if it's more than 100 hair per day. So actually right now, because we do the hairstyling and everything, according to the WHO, it's even more than 120 hair loss per day. So if you want to, you can
Count it.
test So you can try to count. Yes. You know, I have one patient that comes and she already like searched on Google and she said that I already count and it's 100. Seriously? Yeah. I go to the sink and then I get like all of my hair and I count it one by one. And then all on the floor, she counted. If you want to do it, that's fine. But I guess like normally we don't have to do it like that. If you want to go to the doctor, then the doctor can do some tests. So it really is a hair loss or not. So of course, first is the dandruff, and then second thing is the hair loss. It's very annoying. And then of course, like the split hair, the frizzy, split end, and then the dry and too oily or too brittle. Like that's the most common problems of hair in Indonesia here.
All right, Doc. So our next question, I think we will discuss our problem as TV presenters. So as TV presenters, we are required every day to have our hair styled. You know, for like today, we have a volume of for this side and Rory with his style, and then next day maybe we would like the idea with the K-pop style with another volume and everything. So we got a heat for our hair. So what can we do to prevent hair damages actually with our profession?
Yeah, of course. Okay, sure. So if you do have to do the hairstyling every day, so you have to make sure first you get more nutrition to your hair because your hair needs more help, of course. So first, whenever you do the hairstyling, first avoid to do any styling, especially the hot thing on the wet hair. That's very important.
Yeah.
Because wet hair is very vulnerable. So it's really likely prone to damage. So do not put anything very hot on the wet hair. So if you want to do it, make sure you already blow dry your hair, half dry maybe. And then actually it's okay to using a hair dryer, but you make sure that first you don't put it too hot and you don't put it for too long on top of your hair. So you can maybe like swing it and then the wind is not that hot and you make sure that it helps you to dry your hair. If you for example, I don't want to make it too dry, so I don't want to use hair dryer. But if your hair is too long, sometimes if your hair is long and then also not too soft, and then it's gonna take forever to make it dry. It's also not good.
Yeah.
So you can make it like use the hair dryer, the one that is soft with like a middle wind, and then you make it not too close to your hair. And then after that, if you want to do the styling, make sure your hair is not wet. And then if you want to do it, of course, lower the temperature. And then, of course, the durations is also less. So you have to make sure that the style, if you use it like every single day, different style, then make sure that the style can adjust to your hair type. If your hair is so thin and then it's easily break, of course, you have to choose the style that is like more easy to your hair. But if like your hair is thick and also big, like mine, like this, so you can do things like more easily and without having the like anxiety of making too damage.
All right, so I have a following question for you, Dr. Dewi. A couple of questions in regards because my husband also, he's like, ask the doctor. By the way, you were mentioning before that before we do anything styling with your hair, you have to make sure that at least your hair is somewhat already in dry or somewhat mid-dry, not like in wet and then you try to style and whatnot. This comes to the blow dryer itself? I'm talking about the tools. Does the tools matter? Because we see right now in the market, there's a very expensive hair dryer, which we know, that people are using it nowadays, and they even said, facts that it's really good for your hair. It's going to, give you more shiny, and it's not going to give breakage to your hair. Second of all, as a hijabi of myself, you are also mentioning, there are some couple of problems because we are covering our head, our scalp. We're living in a tropical, country, right? Only, especially when it's hot and, hot weather and whatnot. You got humid, and you can even feel, there's trickling of sweat. Yeah. And of course, you want to wash your hair every day, if you can, twice a day, because it's just so hot. So is that healthy or not for, let's say, for a woman that is covered like me to wash our hair almost every day? And what is the perfect thing? Because I see a lot of people also, because they're rushing to work, they don't have their hair dry yet, but they already put it in a hijab. And sometimes their hijab, there's a cap under it and also hijab on top of it. So it's like really stuffing in. So what is the perfect way for that? And my last one is actually for the men. Receding hair, I'm sorry, because my husband is going through it right now. He uses already a lot of products. He went to a lot of doctors, it doesn't work. And he said it's genetic to his family that the hair is residing. So what can he do to, at the age of 35 and above, to grow more hair, if that's possible? Sorry, honey.
3 questions.
Honey, sorry, honey.
All right, this is a bit personal, this one. So about wearing hijab, so that's the main problem. Do not do that. Always rush in the morning, and then you just like in the wet hair, and then put all of the fabrics, everything. Do not do that, because it will damage your hair. Maybe not now, but after a few months, a few years, it will do many bad stuff to your hair. Do not do that. So if you know that you're wearing hijab, then you know that you must have more extra time to put like the effort.
Yeah.
All right. So if you want to wear hijab, of course, first you have to always dry your hair before you put on hijab. And of course, whenever you already put the hijab on, please make sure that it is not too tight for the hair. Yeah, sometimes you put scrunchie and everything, right?
Yes.
You have to put your hair, you have to tie it, right? Then sometimes it's too tight, because you want to make it like, you want to make it easy, so you don't have to like change it over time. But be careful. Whenever you tie it too tight, it will make here, we have the thing called traction alopecia. So it happens in women as well. Here, this area, soon, whenever you're already more than 20 or 30, you feel that this one is like more thinner, this area, because you put the ponytail hair every day. It happens because you pull your hair every single day. And this one, of course, whenever you put a rope on something, that rope sometimes might collapse, right? If you put it every single day.
Right.
Right? Not only like that, maybe like the hair bun and everything. So you have to make sure whenever you put hijab, then do be quite gentle to your hair, right? Whenever you have to do of course you put scrunchie, but put it like in a normal condition, not too tight, and then give and let your hair breathe.
Yeah.
Whenever you don't go anywhere, you just take it off and let your hair loose,
right?
And then give your scalp time to relax, not that hot, not too close from all of the fabrics, because sometimes you cannot, most of my friends said if they want to use sometimes the cute hijab, sometimes maybe the fabric is not good, but it's cute and matched to the clothes, they have to use it anyway. So it's important. So don't forget that you have to let your hair breathe, because it's like a man, but you put on cap every single time, every single day. Can you imagine? Yeah, so you have to take it off and then let your hair breathe and massage sometimes.
Ooh, okay.
If you maybe once a week during weekend, on weekdays maybe you're in a hurry, but weekend maybe you have time, massage a bit. And then of course for the hijab you have to maintain a good hygiene, right? And for the skin, the hair treatment, you have to do a good hair treatment. Means first, if you want to wash your hair, there is no such as, can we wash it every day? How many times should we wash our hair every routine? So it's not the same for each and every person. So each and every person might be different.
Yeah.
So if your hair is very thin and easily get oily and easily like you feel like oh my goodness, sometimes we call it lepek, right? So because it's so like it's easily for you to feel like oh my goodness, this is already oily again, then it means that you can wash your hair every day. That's fine, but not twice a day, just once a day. Like in the morning you don't wash it, but after you come back from work you can wash it.
Okay.
Or after activity you can wash it. All right. But when your hair is curly, the hair shaft is thick, and then you feel like you are okay every 2 days or 3 days without washing it, then it's okay. Even people can wash their hair once a week if it's very dry. But mostly our country is very humid and also hot in a tropical country. So I suggest in every 2 days, maximum 3 days, you can wash your hair. Every 2 to 3 days, you have to wash your hair. Even though it's already like you don't feel anything, but better wash, all right? Because sometimes the sweats, the dirt might clog the pores.
But sorry, Doc, but it doesn't apply to people who wear styling products, right? They have to wash their hair every single day, right?
Of course you do.
All right.
Of course you do. Better to do it every day because you have to get rid of all the oil. But like, you know, sometimes there are sometimes if you're very busy morning until evening, there are moments that you have to go work until like you almost pass out. Then you go home and sleep. That once is okay. But mostly every day. If you something, put the oil, the wax, the style, the gel, then you have to wash it every day, of course.
Okay.
And then of course for the questions regarding your husband. So this one is quite serious. We call it like, if it's really according to what you say, is we call it like androgenetic alopecia, if you ever heard about it. It's hormonal and genetics. So that's true what your husband said. It's already, he got it from the family maybe, but you cannot get rid of it because it's quite difficult to handle. You can give treatment such as hormones, but then if you stop the hormones, then it will come back again. What the hormones do to the hair is, imagine this is the hair follicle, this is the hair, and this is the hair follicle. Can you see this?
Yeah.
The thing that hormones do is, it will make this follicle smaller each and every year after 20 to 30 years. Depends on how bad you get the gene. So it will make it smaller. So first, you don't see he become bald immediately, but after a few times, after a few years, then you realize the hair here in this area typically getting smaller and thinner, not that thick anymore, special here or here. So that's the thing that we call it androgenetic alopecia. That's why, because it cannot be cured, people do the extension, everything, and also the transplantations, because that's the easiest way if you want to make it good.
Right.
Because you cannot cure that.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
So that's
I'm sorry, I'm laughing, doctor. You know, because 10 years ago when I married my husband, he has hair. Now he has no single.
You know, the reason why I really hate genetic factors is that it's like a destiny for you, right?
Yeah.
So, but Doc, I've been learning about hair transplant, right, which is quite popular abroad in Turkey, in South Korea, and even in America. So, is it the last resort for people who's experiencing balding, or is there any way to regrow your hair, which is already losing or falling out?
For the one that we said androgenetic alopecia, that's the up until now. Up until now, I said that's the last choice, the last thing that we have. But another alopecia, for example, you're a woman, and then after you gave birth to your baby, you soon feel like, oh, I guess I lost my hair more.
Yes.
That's the thing that we can cure. Mostly, if we give more nutrition and we change the habit, it can come back, become better. Okay. Not all case, but just the androgenetic alopecia, which is mostly on men, it's very hard to treat. And even you already treated it, it will come back. But if just like a normal hair loss, the one that is like whenever you feel like, or even like the one that is like that's like only a small area, it will come back on its own mostly. But then for the androgenetic, it cannot. that's the last thing we can do
Okay.
until now.
All right, so operation is one of the choices?
Choices, yes.
Yeah,
I
why
think,
not?
yes, why
Yeah, right.
not?
Yes.
Can I have your hair, Doc? That's my last question.
All right, Dr. Dewi, before we're going to let you go,
right.
we're going to conclude our interview by playing a game with my fellow hosts. Have beautiful hair, by the
Yes.
way. So this game is, I will make a statement, and of course, Akira and Rory will have to guess whether it's a myth or a fact, and then Dr. Dewi will correct you or correct us and give us a brief and concise explanation in regards to this statement. Are you ready,
All right.
Rory and Akira?
I am.
All right.
Yay.
So I'm going to choose, producer, how many questions can we get for this game?
I think let's do
All
5.
right, okay, 5 games. All right, 5 questions. All right, so the first one, I'm going to do it easy. Cutting hair regularly will make it grow faster. It's a myth for Rory and also fact for Akir. What is it? What is the right answer, Doc?
I have to go with Rory.
Oh, it's
Yay!
a okay.
And why is that, Doc?
Because like whenever you cut your hair, yes, it's about cut your hair, right? You cut your hair, it doesn't make it grow even faster. But the thing is, whenever your hair is it's longer, of course, it needs more nutrition, more protections, and more treatment. If you don't have time, of course, it's gonna grow not healthy. The thing when you cut it, you throw away all the bristles on the all the frizzy hair and make it look like healthier, thicker, and look like shinier even sometimes. And you look like whenever you already cut away all the things that is too damaged, means that whenever you do the normal treatment, it might go well with the shorter hair.
All right.
Okay.
Now we're on to our second question now, Doc, and also Rory and Akir, who I'm going to choose this one. Stress can turn hair gray. Is it a fact or a myth? Stress can turn hair gray. Rory is fact, and Akir is also fact. Is it a fact, Dr. Dewi?
Yes.
Woo!
Good. It's fact. Both
Oh.
of you are correct.
Oh, really?
You know, yes, it's fact.
Oh.
Hard to imagine, right?
Okay.
You know, there are study. This is a very serious one.
Yeah.
Whenever you stress, then you have the stress body make first I want to say first. The thing that make color on your hair is the pigment we call melanin. Most of
Okay.
you already have. Melanin is come from the cell called melanocytes. Melanocyte, it's from here. Like melanocyte stem cell. Whenever you have stress, you disturb the stem cell, so it won't work. So it cannot produce any pigment. So the hair will be gone. So yes, indeed, stress can make gray hair.
Okay.
All right.
So
Gray
our
to white.
last question, because I wonder about this one too. It has been a myth, I think, or is it a fact? Plucking gray hair can make them grow more. Is it a fact or is it a myth? It's a myth for Rory. It's a myth for Akir. Is it a myth, Dr. Dewi?
Of course, myth.
Okay.
Of course, myth. Of course.
But I'm
So you
doing
can just
that.
pluck it
Yes, of
all.
course.
I'm doing that.
I mean, can you? Yeah. If we pluck it out, it's okay if you don't like
Yes.
it, right? But
Yeah.
you know, this is the hair follicle. Of course, whatever you do to this one, it
won't.
doesn't disturb other neighbors.
Right.
It's okay. The other neighbors just fine. The
Okay.
thing that you do there, just keep there. The other neighbors doesn't get impact.
Right.
Okay.
You
But
just-
it's just like, one truth. When the skin cannot produce more melanin to the pigment of the hair,
Yeah.
then the hair become drier,
Yeah.
more brittle. That's why
Right.
whenever you see the gray hair, sometimes it's more obvious.
Yes.
Then whenever you already pluck it,
Right.
you become more notice.
Yeah.
It's more noticeable, right? So it's like it
Yes.
seems
And how-
like you
Yeah.
know. I guess it's more, but it's like it's
All
not.
right. Doc, this is my very last question though. So I sometimes do this traditional medication using candle nuts or kemiri in Indonesian language, right? I even bought that grilled candle nut.
Is it
in the
myth
form
or
of
fact?
oil? Is it myth or fact that candle nut can regrow your hair?
Myth. Wait. It's fact.
It's fact. Yay!
Because like
Okay, I'll buy it.
there are studies as well for the kemiri thing that it also helps to regrow the hair.
Yeah.
But of course, it depends on the cause of the hair loss or the all or like the problem of the hair. So not all cases can be cured by that. But
Yeah.
if just like you wish that you have a grow more hair, then you can use it.
All right,
All
so
right.
I'm definitely gonna have all my kids having kettle nuts
tell
and
the seller,
community.
okay?
Okay.
Anyways, thank you very
Thank
much to our
you,
venereologist and DC Beauty Clinic
Thank you.
co-founder, Dr. Kardiana Dewi. Dr. Dewi, thank you so much for being here.
But
It's
one
a
thing-
very lovely meet for today.
Exactly, and
Yeah,
we've got so many information
exactly.
from Dr.
We're
Terry.
definitely gonna call you up
Thank
and be
you.
a regular right here at 3 Hour News
Doctor.
Show. Thank you so much, Doctor. You
Thank
have a
you
great
so
day.
much, Doctor.